Thank you. 6 o'clock, we'll call our meeting to order. Sarah, will you do roll call, please?
Here.
Present.
Here.
Present.
Present. Here. Present.
Okay, we do have a quorum, so we'll begin by the approval of the agenda.
Move to approve.
Motion by
Second.
Mr. Goff to approve, second by Mr. Truitt to approve the agenda as submitted. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The agenda is approved. Do we have anybody that signed in to speak under the open governmental?
No.
Okay. All right, there's no one here to speak under the open governmental process. The next item on the agenda is approval of the meeting minutes.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Goff to approve the meeting minutes, second by Ms. Norton. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, we have two public hearings this evening. The first one is Ridgecrest subdivision.
Yes, the first public hearing tonight's a request for plan change approval. The project is Ridgecrest subdivision, filed 2207-215. The developer is J. Hess Group and the engineer is CEC Inc. It's located in the Arden District, tax map 20, parcels 20, 21, and 22.1. The project's located along the southwest side of Paints Ford Road, approximately 0.85 miles north of the Berkeley-Jefferson County line. This major plan change revises the stormwater management plans due to the disturbance of the wooded areas on lots 19 through 23. Phases 1 and 2 are constructed and only phase 3 remain to be platted and constructed. At the December 17th, 2018 Planning Commission meeting, the developer was granted a waiver to Appendix A, Section 1.7A, requiring a 150-foot paved diameter cul-de-sac every 1,000 feet of roadway. On June 27th, 2025, County Engineer Doug Smith deemed the above-mentioned project compliant with the subdivision ordinance. Staff is satisfied with the submitted major plan change, but due to multiple complaints from the subdivision residents, the Berkeley County Public Service Stormwater District conducted a site inspection on July 30th, 2025. Attached is the inspection report for reference. Staff recommends tabling the major plan change until the following items are addressed. 1, check dams must be maintained. The check dams at the entrance of Magenta Lane and at the water quality swale number 1. 2, earth dikes, drainage swales, and/or line ditches. The heavy erosion is taking place in ditch lane on the upper side of Magenta Lane, and the ditch line must be reworked and stabilized. And the near check dams and rock drainage swale on the entrance of Magenta Lane, erosion is taking place. Area must be reworked and stabilized. 3, structural BMPs being protected from construction activities. The berms of the basin must be maintained. Vegetation should be mowed at least twice a year in the stormwater management facilities. The tree on the embankment at the basin outfall should be cut down. The basin should be mowed twice yearly. Due to heavy erosion and overgrowth in some areas, we cannot tell if the water quality swale number 1 has been converted. Vegetation should be mowed at least twice a year in that stormwater facility. And water quality swale number 3 seems to be converted. However, we cannot tell if it's functioning properly due to overgrowth in the swale. The swale must be maintained and mowed at least twice a year. Number 4, erosion control BMPs. The silt fencing where stabilization has been achieved should be removed where directed by the Berkeley County Public Service Stormwater District and West Virginia Department of Environmental Protection. In addition, the scope of work for the major plan change and the Phase 3 work will require an additional bond of $409,560 even. The county currently holds $476,640 in surety for Phase 1, 2, and the grading permit.
Thank you. Do we have anyone to represent the project? Let the record show that there's no one here to speak regarding the project as the representative. This is a public hearing. If you have questions or comments regarding this project, after hearing what Ms. Hoffmaster just read, please come forward, state your name, your address, and your questions and comments.
Good evening. I'm Cynthia Dominguez. I live at 248 Magenta Lane. And while he was speaking, he was talking about the left and the right side of the entrance of Magenta. Does that include the DeBorg's property? When you turn onto Magenta, the property. So it would be on, when you turn in, it's on the left hand. Where their yard is literally washing away with the rocks that they have put there. That was my main concern because they're a young couple and they need to have their property taken care of. One other question though, I live on, as you're going up Magenta, I live on the left side. I have a ditch. But 90% of the water that comes to that ditch is from the right side of our street. And I live at the top where it literally floods out at the top. And we have our own little river going down the road. And I'm not the only one who's worried about it. Several people that live on that side, their driveways are washing, their rock is washing. This water, there's no ditch or anything to stop it. My concern.
Her items of concern, since the representative is not here to speak for the project, the staff will have to answer your questions. Is that part of the items that you see that needs to be corrected?
If you want the backstory.
Would you stand up so the rest of the people can hear you, please? Thank you.
We did meet with representatives of the project with the engineer. We met with them Friday after our decision was published. They did go out over the weekend. They did make an attempt to do some of the bush hogging and mowing. But these problems, it was felt by staff, and I'll be honest with you, Laura and I, it's our feeling that we handled this like we did native bush pines the last time, which we feel that this stuff needs to be corrected. It's been going for a long time. This plan change has been nearly
September of 2022.
There you go. And there's been no maintenance done. None of this has been upkept. And it's my feeling that the only leverage, quite frankly, that I have or Laura has or the county has at this point is to force this to get done before we let everybody back out there again and get everything done. This should have been done. None of this property has been turned over to the HOA yet. So it belongs to the developer. And the roadside ditches is the one thing that it must stay stabilized and they must work. They are part of the infrastructure. And I have no recourse except to try to take a bond back. And I'm sure Mr. Bush or Jeff here will back me up on this. I mean, that's money that the county's going to have to spend 30, 40 grand on an attorney to go get the money back. And that's not even saying that we get most of the bond money back. And then the county has to be a project manager and go out and try and get this work repaired. So we asked them as of 8 o'clock this morning, right? Last time Laura talked to them, you know, we told them our reasons for this and where we wanted this to go. Now, they did send us these pictures, and I have them here. MS4 went out this afternoon and took a few pictures, but it was mainly just the mowing part. Nothing to address the stabilization or the other things. Could this work be placed into the plan change? Yes, it could have, but no one's brought that to us till 8 o'clock this morning and dumped it on the server. And I did go look at it. The scope is in there, but it's 8 o'clock this morning. It's been since 2022.
There has been nothing done to improve our subdivision.
And we understand there are other issues. Excuse me. We understand there are other things going on in this subdivision. but they are not party to us. They are private litigation matters. And we have not taken any of that into account. The only thing we're concerned with is getting phase 1 and 2 stabilized like we did at Naidenbush. And we felt that what we did there was fair. And we felt what we're doing here is fair. And it comes back to the point, it's either I have to fight it now or I have to literally hold someone down and threaten to take their bond and have the county waste money that the taxpayers don't need wasted because the work should have been done. It's a normal course to building a roadway.
Okay, thank you. So the answer to Ms. Domingo's question that she has are going to be addressed with these corrections here.
Yeah, I mean, any erosion issues are gonna have to be stabilized. But
We didn't ask them to
recommendation-
make grass grow overnight. We said, get out there, hustle down, fertilize it, get the coconut mantle on top, get it going. The check dams, they need to be dressed back up. Some of them are completely going, some obviously aren't working.
Okay,
And they probably need to add a few more.
Okay.
But it's work that should have been done.
okay, sir.
How you doing? Can I just get what your name is again?
That's it.
Doug Smith. Okay. My name's Blake DeBoard. I live at Lot 1 along Magenta Lane where you're talking about the rock issues. So we were into our house for 3 months. They came out and just dumped rock. There was no underlayment, so I have to take care of this land. Every 3 or 4 weeks, I have to weed whack the whole rock breaks and everything. I've rebuilt them 5 or 6 times at this point, and they've done nothing to come out and help. It's part of the right-of-way, which my understanding is that they were supposed to take care of that because of what they've changed there, and I've still had to maintain it. I have to weed whack it every 4 weeks, which is about $200 worth of my time and energy to do that. So just trying to figure out how long it's going to take to do those planned revisions, because the last time they just came out, put in 2 more check dams and left it as is. So,
Well, there will be inspections done
Okay.
throughout this work that's been assigned to them to do.
all right.
And if you want to be in touch with Mr. Smith or
Okay.
Ms. Hoffmaster, they can keep you
All right.
updated.
I
Okay?
appreciate it.
Thank you.
My name is Lauren Thomas. I live across the street from Blake Ford. I am 43 Magenta Lane. So my first question is the drainage ditch, which is directly behind my house. Who owns the drainage ditch? Because to my understanding, it was sold to my neighbor who's behind me, and it's not a part of the development. It is owned now by
mean
Nick,
the
Nick
pond?
the pond.
Yeah, I've spoken
Nick
with him
Willingham.
Yeah, I've spoken with him on the phone, and that pond should have been subdivided from that bottom lot prior
Yeah.
to any conveyance. He's gonna reach out to a real estate attorney and talk with them about cutting that off and then
Yes.
giving it back to the developer.
So as of right now, the access for maintaining and mowing it.
There's an
Is-
easement.
There's an
Okay,
easement, so
that
the
easement is the
developer
beginning
still
of my
responsible
property.
to take care of it
Okay, okay,
until it's turned over to the.
right. So another part of that question, that easement to enter Magenta Lane is to go through my property, then to receive down to that pond.
Covers the entire area.
Correct.
Yeah.
However, I was wondering about the compaction of coming on to Magenta Lane because I've gone underneath of the roadway and it's sinking right there. There's about 5 inches, maybe 6 inches underneath the roadway. I have pictures to show. If you crawl underneath, you can see this pipe that is caving from the roadway. We're going to have a bunch of equipment running in and out, let alone, heaven forbid, if we need fire or ambulance to come in, the road is sinking from Paynes Ford to entering Magenta. Along with that pipe, yeah, it's not a concrete structure. And then I vaguely remember hearing you say, Mr. Smith, that you guys were going to topsoil when you're done.
We're gonna, we would encourage that, but if they hydroseed it, that's just, don't really demand which method they do.
And this is just a side factor. It doesn't really pertain to this project, but the Ridgecrest Estate, the large sign that sits in front of the property to welcome into the development, it's damaged and broken and all overgrown. So clearly there has never been any maintenance of the easements or the properties, other than through the property owners.
Thank you.
Also, may be important, not sure how much it holds. But these were the original papers that were left on my property in that drainage ditch in a container. And it shows the engineer's stamp of approval for December of 28th of 2018. And nothing in this paper appears as to what the neighborhood looks like today.
I'm sure. Okay. Thank you. Anyone else wish to speak regarding Ridgecrest subdivision?
Good evening. Are we to sign in?
Well, you
We
need to
sign
give us
in?
you need to sign in if you wish
Okay.
to speak under the public hearing, but we need your name and address.
Fair enough.
For
Thank
our
you.
secretary to keep records.
Well, good evening, Commissioners. I'm Ken Allensworth. I reside at 25 Nugget Way in Berkeley County in this project. My property is identified for purposes of tonight's discussion as Lot 34 or 34 Magenta. On the numerous plans, communications, notices that have been generated on behalf of this development. I'd certainly thank you for the time this evening to offer the following questions rhetorically, not to be answered, but simply for this commission to consider before voting to approve this plan. I know that you have a full agenda, so I'm going to try to be both concise and thorough. I don't know if the commission's aware that the County Public Works team does not support this request and has spoken with the county engineer. The county engineer also signed a letter on June 27th saying that he has reviewed this project and has deemed it to be compliant. I appreciate the comments that have been made this evening, but they're contrary to a letter that was signed at the end of June, so I'm a bit confused about that variance. I don't know if the commission is aware that planning staff astutely asked during this review if we as lot owners were notified. That we were not notified, and that the developer stated that our notification was not required as we are not affected. Now, as you've heard this evening, in advance of this hearing tonight, we miraculously, after many years of silence, have seen equipment on my property mowing part of this easement in advance of tonight's approval. I don't know if the commission is aware that the developer has apparently been notified of our aggregate concerns. I have yet to see him at a single one of these hearings, and that equipment has been on our property without our approval. One of the questions that the planning staff asked was, can the proposed work be completed in existing easements, or will they need to be revised? Specifically on lots 33 to 36, I'm sorry. If they need to be revised, you will need to obtain an easement from those lot owners. This can be executed on a minor plat with the lot owners' notarized signatures. It's identified as resolved in your records. I have not signed anything to that effect. I personally would like to know with whom I could speak to understand the logic of this plan, which proposes to lay drainage pipe to a detention pond, and that pipe is parallel and at least 15 feet higher than a creek bed that runs adjacent to it and is the terminal end of my property. I'm trying to understand how this pipe, with that high elevation, is actually going to be effective and drain anything from the other properties at higher elevation. I just want to close. I don't want to take everybody's time here, but I think it goes without saying that Berkeley County is the fastest growing county in the state. That puts you in a very unique position to ensure that the projects that are being approved are of the highest quality and they are compliant for each of us as citizens and taxpayers. And we just implore you to hear what's being said and to do the right thing. Thank you. And I'll sign in.
Thank you.
My apologies if you can't read this.
That's why we asked for you to state your name.
Thank you.
Okay, now bear in mind, the staff report is recommending that this project be tabled until all items that are on this staff report are corrected. Okay, next person wish to speak?
If I could just augment that, the issues that have been identified, I absolutely agree with. I would continue other issues.
Okay, thank you. Well, you may want to speak with Mr. Smith with any other issues that you think are to be included. Anyone else wish to speak?
Hello, my name's John Canellis. I live at
I'm sorry, your last name?
Canellis. I live at 120 Nugget Way. Maybe you've heard of my house. It's the one that's not built on my property. 4.5 years of litigation with this builder. I just heard, I wasn't here in the beginning, but Doug talking about going after the bond and taking it to do, it's what you're going to have to do with this gentleman. I wouldn't approve anything and any more sites for him. And I beg you as a commission, beg you not to let him start any building in phase 3 until the as-built are turned in phase 2. We have 4 or 5 septic failures just in phase 2 alone. And I know this is about fixing stuff. I can get on that too. The road to Nugget needs to be fixed. That road has sunk since we've lived there. I've got pictures from when we built it to now. And it literally went from here to here. Then we had the drainage. The road floods every time because the drain is actually uphill. Don't know how they thought that was going to work, but with this builder putting the house in the wrong place, a drain's minor. I have a as-built checklist that was sent to Berkeley County Commission, or to the engineers for Berkeley County Commission engineers that was signed off by Cheat Engineering for the as-built in phase 2. Cheat Engineering was not contracted to do any construction, as you probably already know if you've looked into this. The name and the license that was put on there was put on without that gentleman's permission. I know because the vice president of Cheat, I had a meeting with him and his lawyer and my lawyer, and it was told, and I have an email, that permission was never given. This is the kind of builder that is going to hurt this county. When we have people like Dan Ryan and Ryan Holmes that are big corporationally owned now, that are building this, we have this small guy like this doing this to our community. And as you can see, this is our neighborhood. We've had enough. We can't do anything without you guys trying to help us. And we don't want him to build anything else until he fixes what they've already done. That's why he's not here today. He wouldn't show up. He didn't show up before. He sent his surveyor out here the last 3 years ago, 4 years ago when we were here, to be his representative. So I definitely think, I know most of the project has to do with other houses on Magenta and all the flooding and how the driveways are gravel and roads are all going into Paynes Ford Road when it rains. I mean, we get a bunch of stuff down there where the properties are washing away. And I know this has to do with it. My real concern here is, out of everybody in this neighborhood, my house is the worst. And I'm in the worst condition. And I feel for every position, everybody here, and I've talked to everyone and spent time with them, we are a family of a neighborhood. We are the neighborhood that Berkeley County should come to and say, this is what Berkeley County is, this neighborhood. Look at these neighbors. They help each other. They do all this. My plea is that you do not let him build in phase 3. In phase 3 until phase 2 as-built are finished and all the septics are fixed and everything. My septic caught on fire from wiring that wasn't done right. 240 volt. I'm an engineer for MCOR Government Services, so I know these things. I know building. I've been in construction trade for 23 years. You cannot run high voltage wire 240 without a Romex connector or something inside of what receptacle box or anything. It literally burnt up outside underground. I had to dig the ground up and fix it myself.
And you have litigation going on with the developer?
4.5 years of a
Okay.
litigation going on, and so is the neighbor who my house is on their property, and their septic hasn't worked in 2 years. They have to have it pumped because they completely failed it. So I'm just trying to give you an idea of the builder, if you weren't here 4 years ago when all this was going on or what have you, of who he is, what he's doing, and he won't even show up to these things or try to fix things. Doug, I've talked to probably 50 times over the last 4 years, just getting things. I've read every document that he's ever turned into this county. I have every copy of it at home. Plans, changed plans, whatever. And I know that they're trying to do what they can, and you guys are trying to do what you can and what you have the ability to do. But I know the county has the ability not to let him move forward until as-built are sent in for phase 2, which would also mean any issues with phase 1 before you let him build any more houses and put anybody else through what they've put most of everybody in here for.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Can I say one thing real quick? We were talking about this before the meeting. We look at our paperwork for the flats and everything. It says that basements are not recommended on several homes. And each of those homes has basements. And they've all had problems with flooding, with cracks, with, you name it. How can they build a house with a basement?
That's why the county, Doug, I've literally had this conversation with Doug. It's literally what he talked about. Me and him talked for probably 45 minutes about this. The county told him in these places, we recommend that you don't put basements. And they did anyway.
And they did anyway.
Okay, I think we have the picture here. Thank you very much. Anyone else wish to speak about something that hasn't already been addressed?
If there is no one else, I will move to close the public hearing.
Okay, let the record show that there's no one else that wishes to speak. And the motion has been made by Mr. Goff and second by Mr. Hardy to close, Mr. Truitt, to close public hearing. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Public hearing is now closed. Planning Commission members, now it's your opportunity to ask staff questions since there is no representative here.
Well, Madam President, I like to comment that I think that staff is moving in the right direction. They are definitely have done their due diligence. I know this project has set for a long time, and there's a lot of issues that need to be gone through. And I think that staff's hands is tied, and I think that they've made the right decision to say that we're going to table this until at least these things that we've addressed here tonight are taken care of. So I apologize to all of the people in the community. I'm sorry that you've had to go through this and you've had to deal with this. It is a little heartwarming to hear that you guys have all worked together and you're a family-like organization out there. And I would say keep the fight up. But I do believe this is a step in the right direction for staff taking a stand to say, we're not going to let anything else move forward, at least till this stuff is done. And if we find more things that need to be addressed, we'll continue to move forward. I think our staff is very, do their due diligence. They come out, they will listen to what you've got going on within reason of what we can do. If it comes into private litigation, we can't get involved in that. But I would just like to thank staff for what they've done and apologize to everyone in your all's community for having to deal with all this.
Is there any further comments from the Planning Commission?
Madam President, I have a question for staff.
Okay.
Lots 19 through 23, which seem to be the cause of this major plan change. Do you know which phase those are in?
Phase one. They were part of phase.
It was phase one. It also in defense of the development. No as-built. I cannot, unless I go out and see something, can't say whether that's built right, that's not built right. And we depend on those as-built surveys and elevation certifications. It's kind of a key as to where do I go look. I haven't received it. That was our hope with this plan change. Got a couple of things fixed that definitely do need. And we endeavored to try to stay out of the back of those. That yes, early on, and would have required the developer to go through everyone's with bulldozers, try to put moss-covered rocks and logs in it because of the clearing that was done for the engineers' block. Well, since nature has taken its course over the past, my feeling, as well as MS4's, that going back in there, opening this area up to bare earth again, knowing the drainage issue, because I did not ever approve this project. I came in when there was severe erosion problem. And when knowing what we know, it was felt that it was better to let nature continue taking its course in that very deep gully. Vegetation is coming back, and it remains to be relatively stable, and our main focus then was flood issues. Trying to get that cleaned up as well as the conveyance to it. And that's kind of where we were. We tried to do this, but the whole idea was to get that started and get as-built for things. What else?
Okay.
And the issues that are going on, is there any indication, any information, obviously you haven't seen the as-built yet, is there any indication that the issues going on are the result of poor maintenance of existing infrastructure?
Yes and no. Could there have been a better way to skin the cat as far as we say this because could there have been some better things done? Probably. Sure, I did not review those drawings. However, over time, until that property is transferred, it does belong to you. And we just had one today, and just a very quick example. Got a picture of a road that hasn't been surface course. Down probably. The people sent me pictures of alligator cracking in the roadway. Well, if you know anything about roadway maintenance and roadway design, alligator cracking indicative of pure subgrade failure, not pavement failure, pure subgrade failure. and the 12 inches down at least. That should have been excavated out. However, by the time I got a hold of everybody, I found out it was paved over, never repaired. And then they're going to turn that over to me. No, not happening. You'll probably hear me come back here because I'm going to tell you that this will be the first time in the county's history that I wanted 2 5 years. Not a 6-month one.
Okay.
I think, my concern is that tabling, with the scope of the requested improvements, I haven't heard anything to indicate that those will solve the issues and get the project into compliance. In my mind, just what I'm thinking is, whether the process of tabling provides more or less leverage to seek compliance, so that the third phase of this project doesn't exacerbate stormwater management issues that are possibly deficient from the beginning. So I'm just, wondering, and maybe council can opine on this, whether a denial makes any sense or whether a tabling makes any sense. And I'm just wondering whether are there time limitations on the tabling? And so my question is whether this can be done in 45 days. I don't have any objection to giving the developer a fair shot. I just think it's for purposes of expectations of the commissions. I think we're looking at this again in 45 days because I don't know that we'll have enough information.
The work here could be done in a week.
But the results won't be known.
Through that, I mean, Lauren and I are trying to be fair to everybody.
Yeah, and I appreciate that.
I mean, it's not we're not out here trying to run anybody off. We're not out here trying to go after anybody. We felt that this was the best way to get some of these things corrected before we cut loose with the plan change stuff, which will fix the problems that we know are coming from. And I was trying to use this as, hey, get this done, get this so that MS4 and you can watch this. Let the plan change go forward. Phase 3 could come in. I felt confident that all this would come together.
Yeah, and candidly, I respect where you are on that because I think tying phase 3 to these deficiencies is a good strategy to correct what's maybe already happened. Okay, no further questions, Madam President.
Okay. Planning Commission members, do you have questions? Okay, if there's no further questions from the Planning Commission, I'm ready for a motion.
Madam President, I make a motion that the Planning Commission table the developer's requested major plan change modification, provided that the developer satisfy all contingencies in the staff recommendation, and further provided that the matter would come back before the commission as a public hearing.
Okay.
Second.
Second by Mr. Goff. Okay, motion made by Mr. Bush, second by Mr. Goff. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. All right, the next public hearing is Hatchery Road Water Storage Tank.
Okay. I'm gonna wait for.
You may want to close that door.
I got it.
All right, so this public hearing is a request for concept plan advancement. The project is Hatchery Road Water Tank, file 2506-193. The developer is the Berkeley County Public Service Water District, and the engineer is Fox and Associates. It's located in the Mill Creek District, tax map 6, parcel 50.1. The site's located on the north side of Hatchery Road, approximately 0.7 miles east of US Route 11. The project proposes a freestanding water tank on 1.95 acres to be served by public water. On July 14th, 2025, County Engineer Doug Smith deemed the above-mentioned project compliant with the subdivision ordinance. The concept plan meets the requirements of the subdivision ordinance, therefore staff recommends advancement of the concept plan to the detailed site plan stage.
Okay, thank you. Do we have anyone to represent the project?
Yes, good evening. Steve Sianovich with Fox and Associates, representing the applicant.
Thank you. Okay, this is a public hearing, opportunity for questions or comments regarding the Hatchery Road water tank.
There are no comments or questions. I move to close public hearing.
Second.
Let the record show that there is no comments from the public. Motion by Mr. Goff, second by Mr. Bush to close public hearing. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Public hearing is now closed. Planning Commission members, how about you? Do you have questions of the staff or of Mr. Sianovich?
Another great project moving forward. Be able to supply water, pressure, keep pressure up. So, more to come.
Maybe somebody could shut that door back there. That's going to make a lot of noise for Sarah to.
Madam President, hearing none, I make a motion to accept staff recommendation and advance the concept plan to detailed site plan stage.
Second.
Thank you. I have a motion by Mr. Bush, second by Ms. Norton, to approve the concept plan and move it forward. No, to approve the concept plan and move it forward to the detailed site plan. This new language to this new subdivision regulation rewrite has got me confused. Yeah. Did you? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Huh?
It was worse before we changed it back to that stuff.
Oh, was it?
Yep, it sure was.
Okay, we're finished with public hearings. We now have final plat determination for Cardinal Point, Section 7.
Yes, this is a request for final plat determination. The project is Cardinal Point, Section 7, Phase 1, lots 638 through 653, 674 through 685, and 694 through 705. The file is 2506-169, and the developer is Panhandle Homes. The engineer is Fox and Associates. It's located in the Falling Waters District, tax map 10, parcel 104. The site's located on the east side of Otero Lane within the Cardinal Point development that's located on the north side of Hammonds Mill Road. This final plat proposes 40 villa lots on 12.56 acres to be served by public water and sewer. No waivers or exceptions have been requested. On July 17th, 2025, County Engineer Doug Smith deemed the above-mentioned project compliant with the subdivision ordinance. The final plat meets the requirements of the subdivision ordinance, therefore staff recommends final plat determination and advertising of a public hearing for consideration of final plat approval at the September 2nd, 2025 Planning Commission meeting.
Thank you. Mr. Sianovich, are you back on duty?
I am.
Okay. Let the record show that Mr. Sianovich is at attention. Planning Commission members, do you have questions of Mr. Sianovich or the staff? If there are none, how about a motion?
Madam President, make a motion to accept final plat determination and advertising of public hearing for consideration of final plat approval at the September 2nd, 2025 Planning Commission.
Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Lewis, second by Mr. Goff, to accept staff recommendation, and that is to conduct a public hearing on September 2, 2025, at which time the final plat will be considered for approval. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
The next item is a detailed site plan determination for Stonecrest PUD.
Yes, this request for detailed site plan determination is for Stonecrest PUD Lot C5. The file is 2505-134. The developer is Straight Arrow LLC and the engineer is Fox and Associates. It's located in the Hedgesville District, tax map 28J, parcel 345. This site's located along the east side of Kettering Drive, located within the Stonecrest PUD community, which is on the west side of Hedgesville Road. The developer is proposing a 4-unit apartment building on 0.51 acres to be served by public water and sewer. No waivers or exceptions have been requested. On July 17th, 2025, County Engineer Doug Smith deemed the above-mentioned project compliant with the subdivision ordinance. The detailed site plan meets the requirements of the subdivision ordinance. Therefore, staff recommends detailed site plan determination and advertising of a public hearing for consideration of detailed site plan approval at the September 2nd, 2025 Planning Commission meeting.
One more time.
One more time.
Okay. Planning Commission members, do you have questions of Mr. Sionovich or the staff? If not, how about a motion?
Madam President, I make a motion, we accept detailed site plan determination and advertise a public hearing for consideration of detailed site plan approval at the September 2nd, 2025 Planning Commission.
I have a motion, second by Mr. Truitt. Are there any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Public hearing, or the Planning Commission will be holding a public hearing on September 2, which time will be considered for final plat approval. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
Thank you, you too. Staff. Legal counsel.
I move to adjourn.
Nothing for you, Laura?
Nope, just, we had our workshop on the first chapter and indices for the comp plan. I think the next one's in October.
Okay. Okay, nothing else to be discussed. Have
I
a
still
motion by
move to
Mr.
adjourn.
Goff. Second by Mr. Truitt to adjourn. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?